In this lesson, I want to provide an overview of the different tools and resources that I'm going to be using to build out that contact form in the upcoming lessons. So let's open up our browsers, and first off, we're going to be creating a PHP backend. So in order to pick up our web form content, we need to have a server end to be able to pick that content up and do something with it, process it, and even send out an email to us. So the idea here is that we want to get a local machine running on our computer, so a simulated server, in order for us to practice and try out the source code before we upload it to our regular server. So I'm going to be using, within this course, I'm going to be using XAMPP, and in my opinion, this is probably the easiest way to get a PHP development environment set up quickly on your machine without a lot of configuring, and you can simply download it. So there's several options here for downloading. There's a Windows, Linux, and an OS X version. So download the appropriate version for your machine, and you could just run through and set up the default install of it. And once you're up and running, and once you hit start, you're going to open up a little control panel just like this one. And the only one that you need to worry about for this lesson is the Apache server. So just go ahead and hit start there, and this will start and initiate that Apache server and give you the ability to write PHP code on your web page. And you're going to be able to tell that your PHP is running. So whenever you go over to localhost, and if you go to a PHP extension file such as index.php, you're not going to see any errors, and you're going to see that it gets output there. And also make sure that test it out, do something like echo hello, and this should actually be a question mark. So do the question mark PHP, and this indicates that it's going to be PHP code that we're expecting. So when we refresh it, we actually see the output of hello. If our Apache server isn't running properly, then we're going to see that full content get output, because the server is not going to be running in the background rendering out the PHP code. So another resource that I'm going to be using within this course is an editor. So you could use your own editor, or if you're looking to try out a new one, or if you want to follow along with the exact editor that I'm going to be using in the course, I'm going to be using Brackets, available at Brackets.io, an Adobe product, free to download, and it's pretty versatile and great for getting started with coding. Something else that I'm going to be using is Bootstrap. So if you're familiar with Bootstrap, you can go ahead and get the Bootstrap library, download it, or connect to the CDN. So we're going to be using Bootstrap for some additional styling of the form, because we're more focused on the functionality of the form itself. And also we're going to be using jQuery. So that is going to add some really nice functionality and user dynamic interactivity within our web application, and we're going to be using jQuery to accomplish this. So we're going to just connect to the Google, the developers.google.com. They've got a listing of a bunch of really useful libraries, JavaScript libraries, and so on, that you could just simply select, copy, and paste into your website or your web project and have access to all of that really neat stuff. So once you've set that up and ready to go, in the next lesson, we're going to start building out our contact form and build out a fully functional contact form that's going to be able to submit contact information and send out an email and so on. So that's coming up in the next set of lessons.